Alrighty, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chupacabra's Lair. I am your host, and also, for today only, your sociopathic spree killer, Larry, the delectable video game YouTube Chupacabra man, and we're going to be taking a look at the twin-stick, isometric, like third or fourth person shooter, I forget what they call this, game of hatred, which has caused quite a bit of controversy in both the game's culture and the news media for being a very sort of, in-your-face, crass spree shooter, like you're some sort of Columbine killer or Sandy Hook murderer. We've just had like a spicy, crazy moment inside of our apartment. We're really PO'd at the world. We're not super happy about what's been going on in our lives lately. It's just not a good combination of things, truth be told. So we've gotten a bit feisty, we've gone and gotten an AK-47 and some grenades, and we're gonna go tell the world what we think of them. And that's about as much sort of direction and storyline as we're gonna get before we just kind of go around randomly shooting the police and civilians. Oh yes, also executions. Ho! That is, that's a lot saucier than I was expecting. And that's part of what really has caused people to get real saucy with this game. So there's not a lot serious amount of direction in this game, other than wander around and mutilate and murder people and execute them for our own amusement. We're just some sort of random spree killer, so the only real direction you're gonna get is these little icons on the minimap. In this case, Johnny's throwing a party, it's his birthday, and Johnny picked a really shitty day to have his birthday. But nothing that a few party poppers can't fix. Happy birthday, Johnny, Larry's here. Alright. And so, the whole point of those executions that I'm doing here and there is they heal you, so I'm topping my health off before the police show up, because police have a tendency to show up in random large numbers and sort of group up on you randomly, and it kind of ruins your afternoon. And if they do that, in a lot of cases, you don't have a lot of opportunities to respawn in this game. Like, you just saw me get a respawn token for doing like a side quest, which is what killing everyone at this party was like a side quest. Nothing really fancy there. There's really no rhyme or reason, it's just like, oh, there's a bunch of people clustered in an area. Just like Al-Qaeda targets people who are clustered in an area, so does our serial killer friend, Banjo Bob. They took his banjo, he works at the Jamba Juice downtown, his boss decided to punish him by taking his banjo. Now he's taking it out on everybody. So, there's that. Who's shooting me? Oh, one of the civilians found a gun. Look at you, big fancy man. Or lady? Something. So we're gonna go and do a couple of side missions. We're gonna go visit a funeral procession. We're gonna go visit a grocery store. It's gonna be a great evening for us. And, I guess we can talk about the game and start reviewing all the things that are happening here. We've obviously got some very brutal violence. You've got some Sin City-style graphical treatment here, where everything is like black and white and kind of touched off and sweetened up with a little touch of red and some color for like fires and other dangerous, destructive elements, and sometimes a television that I can destroy. Well, there's a lot of stuff like that we've got going on here, and it's a very pretty game. It runs pretty well. I'm running on an AMD R9 280X graphics card. It's certainly not the top of the line. I got it on a sale, which is why I have it at all. And it's not a super powerful card. It's a good card, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't exactly wow the people. So the fact that it runs pretty well, beautifully even, on ultra settings, I'm kind of happy with how this game performs, being pretty and pretty well performing. It's a lot of really good things going on here. So down here we've got a funeral procession. Where you guys at? Here we are. Alright. so that funeral's ruined. We sent Donna off right to the afterlife. It's cool. And doing that mission got us another respawn point. So once we unlock the final mission that takes us out of this zone, we won't really have to worry about dying, because... Oh, here it comes. Okay, so what just unlocked here is we've murdered enough people randomly in the night to get everyone to go to the police station, and now we enter the mission of this game that encourages us to get the heck out of this zone and move on with the game's storyline. So, the game runs pretty well, and it looks really pretty, and that's really where my amusement with it ends. The issue is just, there's not a whole heck of a lot going on in this game, is the issue at hand. There's a lot of gunfighting with the police, there's some SWAT members, but aside from finding one or two weapons from people, finding civilians that literally run into harm's way to go find a gun, there's not a lot to say about this game. The gameplay gets very samey. You know, it's like, go kill some people, the cops come, kill the cops. Sometimes the cops come in large numbers and try to gang up on you in a really, like, nonsensical way. That's kind of silly, if anything. And I don't know, it's just... It gets really boring really fast when the only thing that you've got going on is killing random people for seemingly no reason other than you're mad at society. And that's really the only story you get. It's like... It's honestly like some brooding teenager having a fantasy about the consequences and the reality of what would happen if they went on a spree killing. And they think about this like after one of the recent horrifying events that have taken place. We're gonna go get some groceries before we go to the police station. What's up, everybody? Candygrams are here, don't worry. That was a really boring grenade. That was really shitty. Whatever. It's fine, I got lots of bullets, everyone relax. I've got friendship for everyone, it's cool. Yeah, I mean, the storyline's not super spectacular in this game, and to that effect, I'm gonna kind of lead into my conversation about the nature of the story and the controversy to this game by saying, I've been watching a lot of, like, Netflix documentaries, a lot of shows and stuff that have been trying to talk about the concept of serial killers and capturing homicidal maniacs and people who go on spree killings, who kill people for, like, nasty, rude political reasons in really heinous, violent ways, like sending them bombs in the mail. And, you know, if you really wanted this game to feel like a proper, like, sociopathic serial killer, I feel like you need to incorporate more story elements that you'd see if you were, like, looking for, like, a homicidal maniac as, like, an investigator. You know what I mean? And so what I'm saying that is, like, you know, the Unabomber had a manifesto that he mailed out. So maybe you have to fight your way to the mail, or the post office, or local mailbox through some, like, police or something to drop off your manifesto, which is going to get mailed to, like, the news organizations. Maybe you're getting revenge on people you feel have wronged you, like, say there's a judge out in the world. You know, then you're going to go kidnap his daughter, hold her hostage, and then, like, as a big political snafu, murder her on, like, live news television. It's really heinous to say these things, but if you're gonna bother making a game that's really controversial and really violent about a spree killer, you gotta have some kind of story element that tries to make me connect with and to relate to a person. You know, they did a great job of making you feel for some of the victims or some of the perpetrators in, as an example of a show, Criminal Minds was a great show about profiling people and figuring out, like, what makes them tick mentally to try and catch them, try and understand why they choose the victims that they do. But this game doesn't really do any of that. It just kind of says, let's go kill people. I've felt like more of a serial killer going around in GTA 5 and shooting people than I ever did in this game. Just as an example. I mean, it's just like, besides these brutal executions that I'm actually gonna turn off because they're kind of a distraction while I'm talking. Besides that, there's not really a lot of what I feel like is brutal violence in this game. It's just kind of standard part of the course, first-person, third-person shooter violence. And, you know, it's kind of unfortunate that this game gets that boring that fast. But, you know, it is what it is, so you just deal with it. So I feel like it needs more of those story elements. It needs to have, like, some background story, like, was our character abused as a child? Is that why we're angry at the world? Like, there's usually a rhyme and reason to why people are assholes. It doesn't always make sense, but there's usually a reason, an underlying thing. Well, that's another thing I feel I could talk about. Police cars, or cars in general in this game. You can get into cars and drive them a little bit, but the flaw with that is you shoot a car twice, and, what are you doing, dude? Get out of here. You shoot a car twice and it lights on fire and then it's gonna explode. But you can, or I could have, there it goes. You can get into these vehicles and you can drive around and one-shot everybody you hit with it, but they're really easy to make explode, so I just don't see a point, and their controls are kind of wonky. And to that matter of fact, like, if you step in front of these things, with the limited sort of crappy respawn system in this game, you're one and done, and it's kind of bullshit. So, I mean, there's that. So let's go assault the police precinct, and you can kind of see the next leg of our adventure here today. So we've got a bunch of police here lined up. Let's actually try and make this car explode. Maybe we can do that after we're done popping everybody. Popping and locking. Oh, we are missing health big time. Where's some people? Larry needs some murder people. Come on, everybody come out. Larry needs your help. Come here, Tony. Come back. Come back. Nope, come here. Alright. Ah, damn it. He's dead. Shit. I need to execute someone to heal. Another thing from this game that I thought was kind of weird was how the people respond to, like, weapons nearby. And by that I mean regular human people in this game. Not just, well, I guess that implies that police aren't people, but regular people in this game can go find weapons and use them against you. Which I guess makes a type of sense. However, where are these? Oh, here you are. But, they kind of, it's like they don't understand what danger is. The AI is not smart enough to understand what the situation is they've been presented with. And they will literally run away, run halfway across the map, and then inexplicably come back to grab a weapon because you just happen to still be there. And there happens to be a weapon on the ground. That kind of kills me for the realism department. So on all fronts, like, this game, it doesn't seem all that brutal. It just doesn't. I felt more of a homicidal maniac doing a mission quest in GTA 5 than I ever will in this game, and I feel like people have kind of gone out of their way, in a certain respect, to get offended at this game, and they're really just giving it more credit than it's due. Oh, they're shooting the shit out of me. Ma'am, I need your flesh. I'm gonna need you... Ow. This is just rude. Maybe I could just shotgun them through the front door. Oh, that's right. You know what? There's a police vest out back of here. I'm gonna go and get that. Yeah, I feel like people like Polygon and PC Gamer and the any number of other outlets that I saw that, can I go up here? I can go up to the upstairs of this house. That's amazing. Alright, now I've got my health back. Yeah, some of these houses have upstairs, and it's really cool how they handle that in this engine. But I feel like all of those different news outlets that kind of went out and did a big spiel about how this is setting PC gaming back, or any gaming back for that matter, by like so many years, I feel like they're just fanning the fire and giving this game more press than it really deserves. It's just not really all that interesting of a game, or a game concept. They just kind of didn't go far enough with it if they wanted to kind of go with that direction at all. And that's just how I feel like they kind of missed out on an opportunity to make it more relevant. Like how all, like, the police are just like, everybody gets a gun. It's fine. No, everyone needs a weapon. It's cool. No reason to make it weird. Although, for some reason, I can't seem to shoot people coming through that door. Whatever the deal is with that. But yeah, I feel like this game is not nearly as offensively weird besides those executions as everyone would make it out to be. So, I mean, to each their own. I just feel like it's not. I feel it's more boring than anything else. People kind of went around saying that they're like, oh, I don't know if gaming can survive this, and my only thoughts are, it didn't seem to bother anybody when they published that Rampage movie, which was about a kid that ran around murdering people in his hometown for no reason, like he was just out on a picnic murdering kids for no apparent reason. So, I mean, I think PC gaming will be just fine. This game is not going to get wide enough appeal that I feel like anybody's going to become a serial killer because they watched this game or they saw this game. I doubt it. I really do. And that, and like, I feel like a game like this really just kind of tells you about the human condition and, like, murdery people and their sort of, motivations. And statistically speaking, like, a lot of research has gone into, like, does violence in video games turn kids into sociopathic murderers? And I don't think it does. And all that research kind of says the more violence you exert in video games, the less likely you are to enact any of that in real life. So it's kind of like it's a healthy outlet. It kind of gives you a sense of what your actions will do to people, the cause and effect, if you will. And I mean, I don't know. Those executions are really gross. That I won't deny that. Those are really gross. A lot of them are really heinous. That really, like, some of the ways that this guy kills people really got me. It really did. So, I mean, if that's the kind of thing that really bothers you and really makes you uneasy, definitely don't buy this game. Definitely don't even try this game. Even if you want to just, like, try it out and refund it now that Steam has got a non-draconian system for refunds, I mean, I definitely don't recommend it on those grounds alone. Oh, and this is another thing. I mean, I don't know how hard it is to animate lips moving, but this guy's going into a deep, dark, brooding monologue, and his lips don't really even move when I'm playing this. Maybe that's a bug, but I don't know, give me some talkie. Your lips can move, it's not hard. If you're gonna do a zoomed-in monologue, then why not? I mean, for real. Okay, now we're gonna be fighting some SWAT team members, which I guess is kind of neat. It gives you a sort of different dynamic of just fighting like the police with sophisticated murder weapons. But again, this is just what we were doing before. It just takes more bullets to kill these guys. I don't know. This game gets really samey really fast, like right off the bat. And some people might be into that. I don't judge. It kind of seems a little boring, but to each their own, really. I'll swap out some of my weaponry. I've now got a cool assault rifle. I don't remember what this is called. And this is one of the few things that kind of stayed interesting within the game, is that they've got some, like, random cool weapons, like crazy assault rifles. But aside from that, like, once we get out of these sewers in a few minutes, if I bother to record that long, you really aren't going to get much more out of this game, because the next area is the exact same. You go around, you do some missions, you unlock another mission that I won't ruin for you, in case you want to play this, that, you know, proceeds to the next level. And that's about it. It doesn't really get super dynamic at any point. There's just more fighting the cops. They've got, they've got shotguns, they've got assault rifles, but there's nothing that I would really declare as like a boss. There's no crazy SWAT guy in, like, crazy heavy body armor who has got a, you know, like a chain gun. You gotta, like, whittle him down by hiding behind cover. And you can crouch in this game. It's just... It's always easier to duck behind a wall than it is to, like, get into cover. And the cover, in a lot of situations, like, even if it seems like obvious cover, like if I duck behind this pipe next to me, it doesn't do anything. It's just like, oh, you got cover? Look at you, fancy boy. It doesn't do shit. You're still getting shot by everybody. So yeah, not super sold by it. Ooh, I got some Molotovs. Don't mind if I do. Alright. So I've switched to my other grenade types. I can hold like 3. There's flash grenades, Molotovs, and regular grenades. Flash grenades sort of suck. Sort of suck really hard. Like a gibbous monkey. It's just not, it's not a good time. So, my honest thoughts on this game is, hatred for what it does is kind of a bit of a letdown. And I'm not saying that I want to be a serial killer in a game, although I think in a certain way, like how we watch movies and shows on Netflix that kind of illustrate the way that people act that way. Or not like act that way, but like the perspective of what it's like when serial killers are running amok. Besides that, like, I don't know, there's just not much to say about this game. It's very samey right off the bat. Sure, it's beautiful and there's a lovely game engine, but it doesn't do much for me. It gets very tedious very quickly. The challenges don't seem to vary very much. The only real challenge that I've run into, even on harder difficulties, is just not getting hung up on, like, dumb obstacles. That's about it. Or getting, like, you know, clustered by these buttholes. Oh, come on. See, I'm hung up on something, and I don't know what it is. I'm trying to back up down this corridor. And it's not working super great. So now I'm gonna actually go back in and shoot a hobo. I don't want to shoot hobos. Look at them. They're so cute. They're drunk or something. I feel bad. They don't even, like, swear at you. I don't know. This game doesn't do it for me. I just kind of wish that they'd done a little bit more with this really awesome, destructible engine that they made, where there's a lot of things in the environment that are destructible. But it just seems like a lot of missed opportunities left and right in this game. And I recommend that if you do decide to check this game out for yourself on a sale or something, be ready to refund it. I just don't enjoy too much of it. Even if it was, like, for sale for, like, $5 way down the road, it's just not doing it for me. What's up, Jimbo? Nah, man, I'm not even gonna shoot you. It's cool. I'm gonna be the good serial killer that only murders the police or something. I don't even. Nope, stop it. Oh, that's an explosion. Nope. So, that's another thing. Like, explosions in this game, if you're even slightly too close to it, you're almost one-shot completely. It's a little bit ridiculous, in my opinion. Yeah. There's just not enough going on. I need, like, maybe, like, an environmental puzzle or something, and maybe a boss fight where I gotta fight, like, a super colonel in, like, the SWAT team or something. I don't know. Maybe, you know, like the fancy master sergeant of, whatever. Stay away. Ow, flashbangs, murdering my face. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Alright, so anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed taking a look at Hatred, despite your opinions on it. I'm not a fan. It's just, I feel like it's boring, besides all the other controversial stuff. I feel like the controversy has given it more credit than it's due for what it's been trying to do, and I think they've done us all a disservice by overplaying the horrifying nature of the game. It's a little bit gruesome with those executions, but that's really about it, and those I find just annoying more so than anything. So, with that, I don't particularly recommend Hatred, but I'm sure if, like, for $5 or something, it would probably be a decent, you know, whatever kind of purchase on, like, a Steam sale down the road. But for what it exists right now, it's meh. It's meh at best. So, with that, I've been your host, Larry the Chupacabra. Check this out if you want. I don't recommend it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because it helps me out a whole honkin' bunch, and I will catch you next time. Toodaloo, everybody, and have a good one. I hope I can get out of this frickin' sewer water. It smells like my grandfather in this water.